Good morning, everyone. I want to call our meeting to order and welcome you today. I would say a couple of things. I had a message from a couple of our members on the board. Stephen Buck, as a reminder, is unable to attend today. He asked that I remind everyone that he's unavailable. And then Ryan Haney, I think, was selected for jury duty and is completed that and is en route. So he will be joining us just a little bit later. So we are excited to get started this morning. And at this point, I would ask that we take roll. And am I taking roll? Oh, gotcha. At this point, we'll call the roll. Here.
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 Here. Here.
Thank you. And Hannah, I want to take a moment and give some space just to say welcome. Super excited that you're here and a part of this process as well. And it's sure good to see you today.
Thank you. I'm honored to be serving with you all in this capacity, and I look forward to all that we'll do together.
Fantastic. At this time, we will stand and recite our Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just want to acknowledge that the announcement for this meeting was properly posted in a timely fashion on April the 8th, 2022. And so we are in compliance with our Open Meetings Act. And we have time for public comment. If anybody would like to offer public comment at this time, it is limited, I believe, to 3 minutes. But we want to give a space for that if somebody has any public comment. Seeing none, we will move to our consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are in nature to be approved with a single vote. However, any item on the consent agenda is subject to an individual consideration and discussion at the request of any board member. So I would ask if there is a motion. Do we need a motion to accept the consent agenda? Is there a motion?
I motion that we approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Or we'll call the roll. Aye.
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 The motion passes. And so I'm looking for clarification. I promise I'm going to knock all the rust off in this meeting today.
You're doing a great
We're going to be smooth next time. But we do need to go through items 2 and 3. So we're good. We're ready to go down to agenda item number 4. Got it. Perfect. Agenda item number 4, discussion and possible action to appoint members to the Recruitment and Retention of Staff Subcommittee of the Citizens Advisory Board. Let me just remind everyone about this process, and I think it's important that we spend a little bit of time on this. There was a thought at our last meeting that these subcommittees would not be subject to the Open Meetings Act, and the idea, as you will recall, is that we would keep them. We would not have more than 4 people from this board on any subcommittee, so that we would not be in violation of the Open Meetings Act as we begin to populate these various subcommittees. And then the at least part of the discussion was whatever comes out of those subcommittees would be made public to this board as a, whatever decisions or ideas or thoughts. That is not the case. So all of the subcommittees will be subject to the Open Meetings Act. And we will be staffed by Mr. Hooten's office and staff, and have counsel there as well, and abide by the Open Meetings Act. That comes at the direction of the jail trust. And I would just offer comment that I think that gives us some opportunities to do some other things and some greater outreach. And just a thought that I had that I was sharing with our vice chair is now we have the freedom to include others in the community on these subcommittees. So we can make these subcommittees bigger than just the members on this board if we choose to do that. So if there are people in the community that have an interest and that have expertise or value, we would potentially have the authority to do that, but maybe not. I'm getting a look here, so maybe I'm not saying this correctly. I feel like, listen, I just got Miss Wallace, my fourth grade teacher. I had the same flashback.
We are so grateful for her.
Can you? Okay. There has not been a legal determination as to whether you can appoint others that are not on the board to your
Okay.
subcommittee. Certainly, others would be able to come in to your subcommittee meetings when properly placed on the agenda and present and discuss with the board
Okay.
pursuant to proper guidelines. But we don't have an analysis yet as to whether it's appropriate for you to appoint others actually to be part of the subcommittee. So it'll be participation. It just may be in a different format depending on what the determination is.
Got that. Thank you so much for that clarification. And let me apologize. I had asked if it would be possible for us to appoint other members, and we were seeking clarification on that. And in my mind, the directive that we would be subject to open meetings would have allowed us to do that. But that question has not been answered, and I apologize for getting ahead of myself. So what we would like to do at this point in time, and we're going to go through all 4 of these subcommittees and invite, I'm looking at our vice chair to see if this makes sense, invite members of this board to volunteer to serve on a subcommittee of your interest, of your choice. But at this point, and let me make sure, it is feasible that we don't have to limit the number. You can serve on as many subcommittees as you would like, and we do not have to limit the number of board members who serve on subcommittees at this point, since we were going to be subject to the Open Meetings Act. So all of us could serve on all of the subcommittees. I'm not suggesting that be the case, but that would be permissible. So please, if you're willing and you have capacity, feel good about volunteering to serve on any and as many subcommittees as you would like. And if you don't volunteer, we would be happy to nominate your participation. So we can get there one of many ways. So let's start with agenda item number 4, which is the recruitment and retention of staff subcommittee. Do we have members of this board who would be willing or interested? Ryan, good morning. We talked about you. It's great to see you today. Willing to serve on this particular subcommittee?
I'm willing to serve on that subcommittee.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah, I absolutely would love to.
Perfect.
I'm willing to serve.
Thank you, Pastor. I would like to serve on that committee as well. Do we need a motion to accept before? I don't want to rush this. This is important stuff. Anybody else that would like to serve on this particular subcommittee? Okay, I would entertain a motion to accept those who have volunteered. as as official members of the subcommittee at this time?
I so move.
Is there a second?
I second.
We'll call the roll. Yes.
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 Fantastic. The motion passes. Agenda item number 5 is discussion and possible action to appoint members to the relationship between OCCJA and the Oklahoma County Subcommittee. So this is the subcommittee that will be intentional about improving relations between the authority and the citizens of our county and within the community. And at this time, I would accept volunteers from this board to serve on that committee.
I would like to volunteer.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I would like to volunteer.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I would also like to volunteer.
Man,
for
we
this.
are cooking with gas. I love it.
And I would like to participate in this committee as well.
Fantastic. Man, you guys are great. Seeing no others, I would entertain a motion to accept these as members of the subcommittee.
I so move. Oh,
Go ahead, go for it.
In a second,
I will second that, absolutely.
can we accept this by consent, or do we need to call the roll? Leslie. We'll call the roll. Yes.
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 Motion passes. Agenda item number 6, discussion and possible action to appoint members to the improvements to the operations subcommittee.
I'll do this one.
Ryan, thank you. I would also nominate Stephen Buck to serve on this committee, who had expressed an interest. He had asked that he be nominated this morning.
I'll serve.
Thank you. Sometimes if you stare at a person long enough, the awkwardness of that situation can move a person to action faster. Thank you so much.
Chairperson Steele, may I ask if we do have an interest or capacity at a later date, we're allowed to hop on that subcommittee as well, I assume? Or do we need to, say it today and that's final? I appreciate you.
We'll get some clarification. That's a great question.
There's latitude to add you later, but the board will need to approve the
Certainly.
addition. I don't
Okay.
think that'll be a problem.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we have a recommendation for the 3 members who have identified to volunteer. I would accept a motion to appoint or to accept these members as official members to the subcommittee. Is there a motion to accept these members?
I move that we accept these individuals to the operations subcommittee.
I second.
There's a motion and second. Please call the roll. Yes.
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 Motion passes. Agenda item number 7, discussion and possible action to appoint members to the Policy and Procedures Subcommittee.
I would like to volunteer for that.
Thank you.
I would
Me
like
too.
to volunteer for that.
Great.
I will too.
Great.
I would also like.
I mean,
Wow,
I love
this is
it.
a hot one.
I think a lot of it starts there, right? Policy and
EMP.
I'll move that we accept those members if that's all we have.
there has been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Call the roll. And
Myself
Hannah.
as well. Thank you, Michaela.
Would it be okay to go ahead and also recommend that we add Stephen Buck to it as well? Would that be something appropriate or?
yes, I think it is appropriate. He has not expressed that to me. The one that he said that he wanted was the operations. But I think just to err on the side of of caution here, we could go ahead and nominate him, and if for some reason he doesn't,
He could decline it?
he could decline.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that would be appropriate, and thank you for that. So before we call the roll, would you name the members again, just so that we know what we're voting on?
We've got Ryan Haney, Reverend Ray Douglas, June Elkins Baker, Leslie Nesmith, Hannah Royce, and Mr. Buck.
And there has been a motion
Yes.
and a second, and we will call the roll. Yes.
June Elkins Baker,
Yes?
Reverend Ray Douglas,
Yes.
Hannah Royce,
Yes.
Reverend Derek Scobie,
Yes.
Leslie Nesmith,
Yes.
Ryan Haney,
Yes.
Aaron Ingle.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes. I want to say thank you. I for being willing to serve in these capacities. This board, I see our chairman, the chairman of the jail trust, Jim Couch, is here, and so the timing of this may be great, but I am so excited about the commitment and the wisdom and the leadership of the people who comprise this board, and for you all to share your talents and your expertise in this way through the subcommittees as we really get into our work is just absolutely fantastic, and I want to say thank you for that. Agenda item number 8 is the announcement and I think correction that our third special meeting of the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority Citizens Advisory Board will be on Wednesday, May the 11th at 9 a.m. It will be on Wednesday, May the 11th at 9 a.m. That's our next meeting. And I also believe, I'm looking at my leader here. I know that our chair has made time to, the chair of our trust has made time to come here today. I would like to provide opportunity for him to say a welcome, maybe. Okay, he can do that after the meeting. Fantastic. Well, with that concludes our business. This has been efficient, effective use of time this morning.
Might I
I
ask a
move-
question?
Oh,
I'm so sorry. It has to do with the subcommittees and the meetings of those subcommittees. Do we have clarity as to when those can begin meeting? Will we get notification of that?
We will have to make arrangements for that and
Perfect.
communicate that, much as we did for the first
Sure.
meeting of this board.
Okay.
So
You will need a motion for adjournment as well.
you betcha. Before you step away, you raise a good question because I want to be clear. The idea, and maybe we'll send out instructions in this way to this end as well. But Mr. Hooten's office will give us times that they are available to staff the subcommittee, since we're subject to the Open Meetings Act and will need to be staffed. And then once we have those available times, we will coordinate as best we can with each of the subcommittees to get those times scheduled. And then within the subcommittee convening, we will need to elect chairs and vice chairs just so that we can have points of contacts and facilitators within those discussions. And we'll send out some instructions at that point in time as to how to kind of develop out the process and the leadership and the facilitators in each of the subcommittees. And the subcommittees will elect their own chairs and vice chairs and move from there.
You'll have legal counsel for those as well, so can help you through the process.
Great. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
We'll call the roll.
Chris Steele,
Yes?
June Elkins Baker,
Yes.
Reverend Ray Douglas,
Yes.
Hannah Royce,
Yes.
Reverend Derek Scobie,
Yes.
Leslie Nesmith,
Yes.
Ryan Haney,
Yes.
Aaron Ingle.
Yes.
8-0 for adjournment.
The motion passes. Thank you.